Former U.S. President Donald Trump was shot at during a campaign rally in Butler in Pennsylvania. The suspected shooter is identified as Matthew Crooks. He was confirmed dead, while a spectator was killed as well and two others critically injured in the shooting. The FBI has identified him as a 20-year-old Pennsylvanian as well. FBI says that it was an assassination attempt, but the motive of the shooter is unclear. Now, Trump was injured in the ear as shots were fired. An injured Trump has now returned to his home in New Jersey. This attack, remember, comes just days ahead of the Republican National Convention that Trump is scheduled to attend in Milwaukee. Security has been heightened at Trump Towers and Milwaukee, as well as it turns into a fortress post the attack. U.S. President Joe Biden reacted to the attack and said that there's no place for this kind of violence in the United States. World leaders share their concerns as well, including Prime Minister Modi and Leader of Opposition Rahul Gandhi as well. Firstly, listen in to what the FBI and the Pennsylvania State Police had to say.
This evening we had what we're calling an assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump. It's still an active crime scene. As I mentioned, we have a number of agents on scene. We also are working closely with other federal agencies, our state partners, and our local police partners as well. Again, at this time, we are not prepared to identify who the shooter is. We are close to that identification, and as soon as we are 100% confident in who that individual is, we will share it with the press. With that being said, also, we do not currently have an identified motive, although our investigators are working tirelessly to attempt to identify what that motive was.
The FBI has maintained the lead on the attempted assassination. PSP will take the lead on the homicide and the shootings of the other individuals in the grandstand area. And so there are a lot of witnesses to be interviewed, a lot of things to be processed. There were some complicators that hopefully the next time we speak we can describe for you, but some complicators that slowed down some of the processing and the positive identification of the shooter. But know that at this time we have no reason to believe that there is any other existing threat out there.
Now, President Biden condemned the attack as well, and he also said that the nation must come together as one at this time. Photographers and people who attended the rally narrate the ordeal. Listen in.
He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that the people who, and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you.
Former President Trump at a campaign rally here in Butler, Pennsylvania. I was right in front of the stage, directly in front of the stage. It was a normal rally. You know, I've done it hundreds of times, and over my left shoulder, I heard several pops, and I knew immediately it was gunfire. I looked at the stage, and I saw the Secret Service agents rushing to President Trump. From that moment, I ran to the stage, and I started photographing the agents on top of them. And then off to my right, I saw the Secret Service counter-assault team arrive. And then I ran to the other side of the stage, and they picked President Trump up. And then as he's walking down the ramp, he started fist bumping to the crowd and waving. And I did notice he had blood coming down his face, as you can see in the photos. The agents took him down the ramp, and they put him into an SUV. And again, as he was getting into the SUV, he also started pumping his fist again.
More like what we heard. The bullets rattling around the grandstand. One hit the speaker tower, and then chaos broke. We hit the ground, and the police converged to the grandstands. The first thing I heard was a couple of cracks. Then I saw a hydraulic line. One of the speakers looked like it had gotten hit. Then said, a couple of bullets rattling around, and then we hit the deck. And once the authorities converged, we assisted with two patients that may have gotten shot up in the grandstand, and we cleared a path for getting them out of the way. And it's just a sad day for America.
Now, as per details we have, let me take you through what we know about the shooter and who he was. Now, he was identified as a 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, who was from Pennsylvania. Remember, he was shot dead right after the incident. He was outside the Cordondorf rally area and was around 300 feet from the rally. He was on top of an elevated structure, as you can see there in these visuals, and reports also say that the shooter was armed with an assault rifle. The gunman was fatally shot by the Secret Service sniper. Now, Steve Herman, Chief National Correspondent for Voice of America, reporting from Virginia, and Perry Russum from ABC, based in Milwaukee, bring us more details on the latest developments. Take a look.
Well, this was an extremely close call, as you can see from the video. The former president had just begun his rally, just a few minutes into the rally, when shots rang out, and you can see Trump grabbing for his ear. And then very quickly, as more shots are fired, diving under the riser there, that helps to protect candidates who are doing these sort of rallies. And then not only the Secret Service came in, the presidential protective detail, but also these specialized tactical units. And they did their job there. They did protect the president, and their shooters were able to take out this gunman at a relative distance. Of course, there's a lot of scrutiny right now on the Secret Service that a number of shots managed to get off by the gunman that not only grazed the president's head, but also killed and wounded other people. We don't know exactly. According to law enforcement and witnesses, it appears to be 4 or 5, but we don't have a definitive number at this point.
The FBI says they are working to identify the shooter. They say they are close to doing so, but want to make sure they are 100% sure and accurate before doing so. Right now, the FBI is calling this an assassination attempt on former President Trump. Law enforcement sources saying the shooter fired about 8 shots from a rised area about 200 to 300 yards away from where former President Trump was speaking at a campaign rally in Butler County, Pennsylvania, just north of Pittsburgh. This started about minutes into his campaign rally there. Trump is said to be fine and safe after this assassination attempt on his life. We know the shooter is dead, and law enforcement sources say that one person who was at that rally has been killed and 2 others are said to be severely injured. And this is happening ahead of a major week here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, ahead of this Republican National Convention where Trump is set to be named the official nominee of the Republican Party for president. We're being told that schedule is still staying according to plan. Back to you.
We'll bring you more on these stories for now. A short break.